Hey, what's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Realize my water bottle is blocking my mic, so we might not want to do that, but I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about EDH Cards Worth the Money, part 6? We're on part 6, I think. That's insane. And I already have part 7 planned, so, you know. But basically, why I like to do these videos is because this is for the people who are like, hey, I'm interested in this card, but I don't know, is it actually worth it, sort of thing. And the answer is yes, these are definitely all worth it. I think when I say worth it, it's really, is this going to make your deck better? Yes, but is it an essential, like, buy-all, end-all, like, no, you know what I mean? I just think these are definitely investments to make, and they are just going to, they're just really good cards that I've played with or I've seen other people play with, and I was like, that's definitely worth the money. I definitely think that you could, I don't want to say should, but you could invest in them and you would be, your deck will be better, basically. I will list all the other 5, I believe we're on part 6, pretty sure, videos in the description, just in case you want to check them out, and I might have mentioned some other cards that you might be interested in down there. I'd love to hear in the comments what cards you guys think are worth the money. Let's hop into it. And also, too, okay, one more disclaimer, is just because I'm talking about a card that's more than $5, and some people are like, why are you talking about cards like that? It's like, well, some people spending $5 on a card is definitely an investment, and they're just not sure if that thing is actually worth it. So that's why I like to talk about cards, even if they're not necessarily, like, there's more expensive stuff on this list, but there might be some cheaper stuff too. And that's just for those people who are like, I don't know, should I invest in this $5 card? So yeah. The first card is Triumph of the Hordes. Okay, it has been so long since I've played Commander. I'm pretty sure I killed someone with this card, like, one of the last times that I actually did play Commander in person. Wow, it's like 3,000 years ago. Anyone? Yeah, this card is definitely worth it. I like that this card was actually reprinted recently in Mystery Boosters, which I just realized now, which is very cool. And this card is about $7 or $8, and I really enjoy it. Again, this is like if you just want a more finishing type of card and you feel like you need another win condition, I think Triumph is really good. Do I run it in all my green decks? No, I run it in one Merfolk because it makes sense. I could run this in Tasigur if I totally wanted to. I could run this in a lot of things. I could run this in Ladies too, like it's got a lady on it, I'm pretty sure. I'm so far away from my screen. I'm so blind. I just have like very terrible vision, and I just, even something that's like, my screen is about like arm's length apart and I have issues seeing it. Like that's how bad my distance is. Oh yeah, it's got a lady on it. I could totally put this in Ladies. Maybe something to invest in. How much is the foil? Oh my gosh, $34. Whoa, okay, we won't be getting that anytime soon. Anyways, it's a great card. Makes your deck better. Great. We love a deck better moment. It's really weird. It was not showing me the right Mikaeus for some reason. Okay, yeah, so Mikaeus, we're talking about the black Mikaeus, the Unhallowed. Truth be told, I have no idea what the white Mikaeus does. Doesn't really matter because black Mikaeus is great. This card's awesome. Like, if you're thinking about building him as a commander, like, I feel like if you are thinking, like, do I invest in a couple of cards for my deck or the commander? Like, that's an interesting conversation to be had. Let me know if you're interested in a video on that. I think that'd be a really interesting topic. A really cool, like, interesting topic to talk about. But, I feel like Mikaeus is definitely worth it as a commander. I do have him, and I don't know what video is going up first, but I'm actually going to be talking about him in an upcoming video where I talked about black commanders. Again, I have no idea what video is going up first, but, he's really good. I love him as a commander, but if you're thinking about putting him in a deck too, like you're building, like, Zombie Tribal or whatever, 100% you need him in there. He's super good. He just, like, he does so many things. I don't want to talk that much about him because I just talked about him in the other video, but he's a big dude. He's got 5/5 with Intimidate. You can definitely kill people if you are building him with commander damage. You can definitely kill people with commander damage with him. It's pretty easy to do. Whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. People do not realize this ability is, like, actually a thing. Like, people forget that he does that, which is funny when someone swings and you're like, it's dead. And it's even better when it's their commander as a human, because that happens a lot. Humans, it's the #1 most popular, like, type, like, creature type. So the likelihood of you having this be relevant in a commander game is very high. And your other non-humans get possible son of undying. Yeah, like, super good. He does a lot of things. I like cards that do a lot of things. I like cards that have, like, a lot of text. I'm a huge fan. Okay. I just closed my tab. Oh no. close my tab. I'm having a lot of technical issues. I just really want to film this video, and we have a lot of hurdles. Okay, Maister. I'm really excited about talking about this card. Maister got reprinted recently. I had made this list a pretty long time ago before it got printed recently in Double Masters, and I actually just picked up a foil for myself from Double Masters for $10. So really, like, if you're thinking, should I get a Maister? The answer is yes. Card is great. I mean, I just, like, I feel like recently I've been very much about, like, utility lands and about making the most out of my mana base, and I feel like once you have the shell of your deck and you feel like your deck is really refined, I feel like taking a look at your mana base is definitely a really good way to go. Like, I get why people don't immediately just, like, dump money into their mana base, like, I totally get that, but I feel like as I've played Commander more and more, I really see the value in investing in these really good EDH cards. It's so good. Like, making something where it can't untap, and if you are, or it untaps so they can't swing with it, it's a great threat to have on the board. It's really good if you're playing against if you have a play group where they have a lot of, like, one big dude and they're swinging, but super good. Well-rounded card, and I do really enjoy it. Okay, now let's talk about Ancient Tomb, another land. This card has been printed quite a few times. Actually, I do quite actually enjoy the new Zendikar Rising expeditions. Wow. I actually like that art quite a lot. This is a great card. This is, like, definitely, like, when I think of, like, a card that if you're like, I really want to invest in a good land, like, Ancient Tomb is great for you. Here's what I will say. If you are someone who's building 3, 4, 5 colors, do you need an Ancient Tomb? I don't think so. If you're building a monocolored deck, maybe a 2-color deck, depending on how heavy your mana symbols are. 100%. I only own one Ancient Tomb, I believe, and it is in... Do I have it in Zombies or Angels? I don't remember, but I have it in one, but I need it in the other. I had Zombies. I have it in Zombies, but I do need to get this. And this art, I feel like, is very, like, ethereally, angel-y. Anyone else getting that vibe from this art? I really like it. I, like, just saw this, like... I can't keep up with Zendikar, like, it's not, just some things you're just like, I can't keep up with it, like, I can't keep up with that Magic set. I don't even know what any of the cards do in this set. Anyways, yeah, this card's great, love it. Again, I don't think you need it. I wouldn't play this card in a 3, 4, 5 color deck. I just wouldn't, because mana symbols, to me, like, it's so important for me to have my colors rather than having a utility land in that instance. If you're playing a mono and a double color deck, this is super good. Love it. This is, like, one of those cards that I feel like really pushes, like, when you think about making your commander deck just, like, better and, like, making it more competitive, this is a card that does that for you. So, great card. Okay. I mean, really, would it be, like, actually one of these videos if I didn't talk about, like, a tutor of some sort? Because, like, I love tutors. Okay, like, Vampiric Tutor. Yeah. I mean, just... yeah, like, it's one of those things where if you're playing in a casual group where where casting a 3-4 mana cost tutor isn't gonna, like, put you over the edge, in a sense of, like, when you can afford to cast that mana-wise, go for it. But if, again, and that's similar to, like, what I was talking about with Ancient Tomb, like, if you're really trying to put your commander deck over the edge, like, tutors are just, like, the way to go, right? Like, playing these sorts of cards to, like, get whatever instant you need. I like that Vampiric Tutor is an instant. I like that you can do it at the end of someone's turn for that reason. You do get to put it on top, but my thought process behind it is The cats are trying to open my door right now. It's funny. Sorry, I'm, like, super distracted right now. Anyways, so you do get to put it on top, which is why I would probably cast this at the end of someone's turn. You put it on top. You do lose 2 life, but honestly, who cares? It's 1 mana for doing it. Like, this card's great. I actually don't own one, and that's on the wish list. Another card that's on the wish list, it got printed in Double Masters, and so I was really excited, and I thought the price would drop significantly, and it really hasn't, which I'm pretty bummed about, is Mana Crypt. This card's awesome. Again, my thought behind this is, and some people can disagree with me, and, like, that's totally fine. I feel very similarly between this and Ancient Tomb, is I think this in, like, first off, like, artifact decks, this is a great inclusion. I'm also thinking, like, monocolored, dual-colored decks, I think this is fine. And again, I wouldn't run this card, like, in anything. Just, again, I'm so, like, mana sensitive. Like, I want to make sure I'm always able to cast the things that I do. Even if this card might make my deck better, I'm not I might have this in an instance where, like, I need colors, and I just feel like if you're playing 3, 4, 5, like, I personally just don't really like this. It's just a personal choice. If you want to build a 3-color deck, put this in there, that's fine. Like, again, this in, like, a Leela. Like, if I own one, I might put this in a Leela. Like, if I just happen to own 3 mana Crypts when their foils are $130, but, like, that's aside from the point. Basically, yeah, great card. It's definitely been on my wish list for a while. I do really want this. Again, it's just kind of a deck that puts your deck card that puts your deck over the edge. Is it needed? No, but it will up your deck and make it just better. So yeah. Speaking of, like, another tutor, we have Mystical Tutor, which this card has actually come down in price, actually, that I'm looking at it, which is actually really cool. We got the signature spellbook version. My personal favorite art is the Eternal Masters art. This is done by Lindsay Look. I don't know, my thing is, like, blurred out, so I can't see. She's one of my favorite artists. I love this art. Yeah, anyways, how much is the foil? Okay, it's like $32. Okay. Well, you know, it's a great card. Yeah, you know, you search for instant or sorcery. Again, this is like if you're just trying to make your deck better, I do think that this card is really worth it. Again, very similarly to Vampiric Tutor. Like, it's good. I like that. You do have to reveal this card, which might be, like, a downside. So, like, my thought behind this is, like, you probably are getting, like, a Cyclonic Rift or, like, something like that. You know, and sort of, like, win the game afterwards. But my thought behind Mystical Tutor is, like, if you're building, like, a sort of like a control type deck or whatever, like, I think this card is, like, a really solid inclusion to put in there. I'm kind of always under the opinion that tutors are always worth it. Like, that's just been my belief for a really long time, and just they are. Wow, talking about a lot of lands today, but to be honest with you, I just feel like lands are where it's at, you know what I mean? Talking about Wasteland. I'm not a huge fan of running, like, even if it's, like, a mono deck, like, multiple options to destroy lands, but I do like having the option to destroy lands because, again, everyone's running utility lands, and those are just really important. So even or just, like, cutting someone off colors, I think can just be, like, really important. But my thought behind this is, like, you know, running one of these sorts of cards to just stop someone's really powerful utility land or something like that, I think is really good. There's a bunch of other land destruction cards, and if you guys are interested, let me know in a comment if you want me to do a video talking about all the land destruction cards that are actually lands, not like the instants and sorceries. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that, because I think it'd be interesting to look at them, like, all and just kind of, like, talk about them all. But what I like about Wasteland is it doesn't enter the battlefield tapped, it does enter colorless, so it's still a utility land, and you can still do things with it and still add mana to your pool, even when you want to hold off for this, to sack it to destroy target non-basic. It is a non-basic, so that is, like, the one, like, downside, I guess, but to be honest, your big targets are probably not going to be basic lands. You're going to be destroying other things. So I do think this card is worth it. It's like $25 for the regular, which I don't think is bad. At least the Eternal Masters is. Maybe the other arts are different. I'm getting, like, Yu-Gi-Oh cards mixed in here, and I'm just, like, my feed is, like, kind of a mess right now. Yeah, I think that's, like, the cheapest that I'm seeing for it. So yeah. Wait, the Zendikar Rising Expedition is 20? Oh, no, it's, like, the same. Okay, so it's like 20 around, so yeah, not bad. Cool. The next card we have is Archangel of Ties. I love this card. I have this card in Angels, and this is, like, I just feel like the more I run so many cards like this, and I'm just like, maybe just I'm, like, a Death and Taxes player. Like, I feel like I'm kind of like a D&T player. Like, I don't know. I really like Death and Taxes cards. And this is, like, one of those cards that just really, like, it's so good, and I feel like the reason I don't see this card a lot, I think, is because of the triple white, and I think that makes it so hard if you're building, like, even, like, a black white Death and Taxes deck. I think this card would be really challenging to cast. Again, it totally depends. It depends on your mana base, like, you know, and if you are building, like, a budget, you know, your mana base might be a little bit jank, and it might be, like, a little bit hard for you to cast this, but in, like, a mono white Angels, like, love it. She's such a well-rounded card because she has, first off, she's, like, a 3/5, which is cool. She's got, like, a lot of toughness, which makes her, like, harder to kill if you're talking about, like, blocking and things like that. And then when she's untapped, they can't attack you unless they pay 1. You can just shut so many people down with this, which is awesome. And when she's attacking, they must pay 1. So, like, you have both of those things. And the one thing I really love about her is when you are playing her in in Angels and you have so many ways of giving things vigilance, it's really good because then she's always untapped, which is really good to push her over the edge. So to be honest with you, I'd really love to see this card being reprinted. To be honest with you, I think it's a very reasonable price. Like the regular is about $12, which I don't think is bad for this card, and it's definitely, you know, it's really, really good, but I would love to see this card being reprinted just so that more people have access to this card, because again, it's only ever been printed one time, but super, super good card. And the last card we're going to be talking about is another Tithe? Why did I say Tithe? That doesn't even make sense, Tracy. Is Smothering Tithe. I think that's how you say it, right? Tie, like tie a knot? I don't know. Okay, anyways. Card's only ever been printed 2 times. So it's about like, sitting at about like $17, $18 right now. Is this card worth it? Yeah, 100%. This is one of those other cards too where I'm like, the more like middle of the range card that I'm like, yes, this card is definitely worth it. And I feel like what's really awesome about this card is even if you're playing like a deck that has white in it, like this card goes in there, which I really love because this isn't a card where you're like, oh yeah, I should just like run this in like every white deck. Like you probably should run this in every white deck, but you can also definitely run this card in like a deck that splashes white because you get treasures and you can sack them for anything, which is awesome. And let's be honest, people are probably not playing this unless they just have like an insane amount of mana, but I feel like a lot of times people are drawing and they're drawing multiple cards and they're just like, you can have it. Like, that's just my experience with this and like Risk Studies. People are like, you can just have it. Like, go for it. I don't know. Maybe in your commander groups, people are like, you cannot have that Smothering Tithe trigger. Like, I don't know. But I feel like in my experience, people are just like, yeah, whatever. You can have your dumb mana. Like, whatever. What are you going to do with it? So, yeah, card just, again, really, I think this card is just a very strong card that can make your mid to late game so much better. And I think this is a card that really can turn the tides. Tides is a different word than tie, but it still kind of worked. I think in terms of just giving you access to more mana. Looking at this card, to be honest with you, I really do think I need this card in Angels because even though the tokens you get are still going to be white, like it still works in a mono white deck. Obviously, if you have multiple colors, this works like great. But I really would like to run that card in Angels, because I just, for like, my Angels are so high mana cost that I think this card would just really like make that so much better. Even though I've been working on the deck with a lot of like mana fixing and stuff like that, this card definitely is really, really, really strong. So yeah, I need to actually get one of these for myself. I think I just haven't put it on my list, and I also just don't think I know what to take out. So that's kind of my my thought process. I don't know what card to take out. So anyways, guys, I'd really love to know what cards you think are worth the money. Maybe things that you've bought recently that you're like, wow, like I totally think that other people should like know about this card, and I do think that it's worth the money. So I really like filming these videos. It's really fun to talk about cards that are like a little bit more expensive, because listen, budget videos, love budget videos. Those are super fun, but this is fun for me too to talk about. So anyways, that's it for me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.